Hey!
Huh? Oh, what's up? You don't normally text me during work.
Since you brought it up of your own accord, do you even do anything around here?
What are you talking about? You know I'm a freelancer.
Do I know?
Yes?
Then why do I never see you working?
Because you're always at work. And I also have to do all the household chores, so by the time you get home, I'm usually in the middle of making dinner.
Which you barely do well.
If you have complaints, feel free to do it all by yourself.
Why? Because I'm a woman, you expect me to do the housework around here? Are we still living in the 1940s? Unbelievable.
What? No, of course not. Fine, if you don't want to cook, then how about you start buying it outside?
No, it's expensive. I'll keep eating your food.
So, why are you bringing this up all of a sudden?
No, it's just that I've been so busy at work, and whenever I see you, you're just tapping away at that computer of yours. And you always stay up late. It just ticks me off when I'm working my butt off and I come home to see you fooling around. You say you're working, but with how aggressively you're slamming down on the keyboards, I bet you're just playing games.
I just type fast. I've been writing for years. I always excelled at my typing courses.
Sure.
Again, why bring this up anyway? Wasn't this what we agreed on? That we wouldn't follow gender roles because that wasn't what would make us happy?
I just want you to start pulling your own weight around the house more.
And how do you want me to do that, exactly? What more am I supposed to do?
Dunno. You figure it out yourself. Anyway, I don't feel like talking to you anymore, so I'll be getting back to work.
Hey, wait, Karen, you can't just drop that on me out of nowhere and not even tell me how to fix it. Karen! Hey, I was doing some washing this morning and a card fell out of one of your shirt pockets. Any idea where it's from?
A card? Huh. That's weird. I've got no idea. Maybe one of my coworkers gave me something and I just jammed it in my pocket without thinking. Go ahead and throw it away. Also, I'm busy, so maybe don't talk to me again until after work.
It has a man's name and number on it. Well, I'm assuming it's a guy, but who knows? It says Taylor. Does that ring any bells for you? And the card smells like cheap cologne.
Ah, yeah, it's from a club I went to for work.
Club?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Like the type where there's dance parties and people wearing skimpy clothes?
Well, it was for work, so it's not going to be that risque. It's just that some clients were in town, so we decided to take them out for dinner too. It's actually a very high-class place, silver service. It isn't sleazy. And all our efforts to please them paid off, because we got a big new contract signed off.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and we almost never take clients out to places, but these were people we were trying to get on board for weeks, but man, they were stubborn. So we had to pull out all the stops to convince them, but we didn't sacrifice our integrity. Like I said, it was a pretty respectable place for a club. Some other business people were there even. And guess what? It was me that managed to convince them our product was superior. Aren't I amazing? I'm girl bossing.
You sure are.
Remember when I went up to Glass Springs and I had to do a big presentation and I was so nervous? Well, I was presenting to this group and it seems like I left a good impression.
I see. Good for you.
Hey, why aren't you more enthusiastic? This is a really big deal. You're married to a super amazing woman, and all you can say is, I see, or good for you?
Well, what else am I supposed to say?
Oh, I get it. You're bitter because you're assuming I spent a lot of money going to a place like that?
No, that's not it.
Well, you'd be wrong. I wasn't paying a dime. The boss insisted to pay for all the costs, especially since I was taking precious time out of my day to do so. Hey, I might even be getting a pay raise out of this. Isn't that amazing? She was hinting at it and everything, so I'm sure I'll be getting the good news pretty soon.
That's great.
Right? Although she had powered through a bottle of Shivas in a short time, so she might have not been thinking straight. Or at the very least, she might not remember. But boy, will I remind her the next time I see her, because I am not letting a chance like that pass me by. Not when she was hinting at it herself. But anyway, why are you being so nosy and prying into everything anyway? Don't you have better things to do? Like that job of yours that you're supposedly always working on? Or the household chores? Going to that club was part of my job, okay? So get off my back and worry about yourself.
All right, geez, you don't have to get so defensive.
Well, I feel like you're trying to make me feel like I'm being a slacker or irresponsible or something, but I'm not. I'm being a hard worker.
And so am I. Besides, I'm not accusing you of anything, I'm just asking. What, am I not allowed to be even a little bit curious? As husband and wife, I feel like these are the kind of things that we should be able to talk about casually. Am I wrong?
Yes, you are wrong when this crap is taking up so much of my precious time to be answering your nagging texts. Unlike you, I don't actually have a lot of free time, so you can't be asking me these things when I'm supposed to be busy.
Please stop acting like I have so much free time. I was just wondering, sorry for wanting to know things.
Oh, and while we're on this subject, what if I did want to go to more unsavory places? Huh? What does it matter? We're still husband and wife, and it's just a way to relax. You know, it's just to let off some steam at the end of the week. Or so I've heard anyway. Not like I'd know anything about that. But people do it all the time, even while they're still married. I mean, it's not like it's an affair or anything. There aren't any feelings involved. Lots of guys go to strip clubs and those sorts of places to have a few beers and unwind. As a woman, am I not allowed these same privileges? Am I not allowed to have fun too?
You're pulling this card again?
Are you thinking of trying to keep tabs on me all day, like a helicopter parent? I'm my own person and I should be able to do what I want. And I can't have you constantly hovering over my shoulder. Plus, if I can't entertain clients, I won't be getting contracts now, will I? Contracts equals commissions, and commissions equals money. You know, the stuff that magically pays for all your rent and necessities?
I also make money too, you know?
You make barely anything compared to me. And without the money that I make, you won't be able to buy all the things you've become so used to. If all the money I provide drains up, you'll realize how much you've been able to live it up thanks to me. How would you like that?
Yeah, sorry, I really didn't mean to pry. I was just curious. I guess it was just causing my imagination to run wild, but I know that it isn't an excuse. As a couple, I should trust you more. I'm sorry, okay?
So, are you gonna take your shirt off, put on a bow tie, and start entertaining?
Huh?
I dare say you're no match for the guys you can meet at the club. They really know how to entertain a woman and actually keep her coming back for more. You're lucky that you're a man, since age doesn't matter as much, but you're dangerously close to losing all your hair, and your body isn't in the best shape. So I'd say you have a disadvantage compared to the guys who are much younger.
Yeah, perhaps when I was younger, I might have given them a run for their money. Not that I'd want to be involved in those kind of environments.
Right. Anyway, these kind of evenings are part and parcel of my job. My boss, Mrs. Goldstein, she's a tiny bit old school, although she is trying to keep up with the times in her own way. She believes in taking clients out to strip clubs if that's what they want. Anything to seal a deal. No wonder she's been the head of her company for so long.
So it was a strip club, huh?
For example, I mean, if that's what the client wants, she's willing to go that far. All right? I'm not saying that's where we actually went. Because again, the kind of club we went to was a lot nicer than that. As for me, I'm totally on board. It's nice to be able to have a couple of drinks and relax. Especially when I don't get anything but your nagging at home. Yeesh.
Are you honestly trying to act like you can't relax at home?
Yeah? Just because you're a man doesn't mean you can't be a nag.
You're acting like I'm totally ruining the vibes in the house, but to me, it looks like you can relax just fine when you're at home. From what I see every weekend, relaxing is pretty much all you do. I've seen you get up on a Saturday morning and sit drinking beer and watching TV dramas until Sunday night. That doesn't exactly sound like the behaviors of a person who's constantly stressed at home. If that's not relaxing, I don't think there's much more that I can do for you. I almost never bother you. I usually make nachos or heat up some beans for you at the most. I understand that you get tired at work, so I do my best to not get in your way too much.
Hey, I'm just telling it like I see it, and there's always room for improvement. What, am I just supposed to suck it up and pretend everything's perfect? I think we should always strive to make things even better between us.
I mean, I guess.
When I get home tired from work, what do you really do to help me relax?
I mean, again, I try to leave you alone and only step in to give you snacks. I don't know, what else do you want me to do? I didn't realize you were so unhappy.
It's not that I'm unhappy. I just think things could be better.
How? I can't improve things if you don't tell me what more I can do. What do you want from me?
Jeez, I shouldn't have to come up with that. You have a brain of your own, now use it. Put that imagination of yours to better use instead of making baseless accusations.
Baseless allegations? Where? Where am I doing that?
That doesn't matter. You can think of something, Shirley. You're supposed to be my husband, and you're a man. You're supposed to be dependable, but I can't depend on you for anything.
Well, yeah, but...
Just cooking and cleaning doesn't do anything to help calm my nerves and soothe me after a long, hard day, especially since the food you make isn't even that good. Giving me snacks doesn't count either, since you liked bringing that up. Just like me, my mom is a woman of a strong character. She loved my dad so much that she just had to leave work on the dot at 4 p.m. every day and rush home. That's how much she enjoyed being home. She was truly the queen of her castle. And she still is, because she hasn't retired quite yet.
Those were a lot of words that didn't do anything to help me figure out what you want at all.
And now you're being snarky. See? You do nothing but stress me out.
I'm just at a bit of a loss here. Can you be more specific? What was so great about your folks' home and the life they lived? You can do that much, right? I can make suggestions based off that.
I guess to put it short, if you could be more like my dad, that'd be great. Just like us, I grew up in a household where the traditional gender roles were a little backwards. My dad was the one who always greeted me when I came back from school while my mom worked. Although he did also work outside like a real man instead of sitting at home all day. He was very respectable. And even though it was hard, he prioritized my mom keeping her career. And he didn't once complain or talk back to her. Oh, hey, now that's an idea. Why didn't I think of this in the first place?
Think of what?
Why don't you get my dad to give you some advice? I think he'd be a good influence. He could give you some good tips and pointers to show you exactly what's wrong with what you've been doing.
Oh.
Damn, sometimes the solution is right there in front of your eyes, and yet you can miss it so easily. It's like when you're trying to find the ketchup in the fridge, or when you're trying to find your glasses, but they're still on your face. You've still got a long ways to go toward becoming the perfect modern-day husband, but my dad is sure to lead you on the right path. I'll call him right away. I think this is the best damn idea I've ever had. I needed a drink to celebrate.
Do you have to drink so often? I'm getting worried about your health. But wait, hang on a minute. Where exactly am I failing as a husband? I keep the house clean, and even though you complain about it, I do my best to make sure dinner is waiting on the table when you come home. Plus, I'm working a job at home. Are you sure you're not being overly picky? If you think I'm gonna fetch your slippers and give you a foot rub every night, you'd better think again. Just because you're the main breadwinner here doesn't mean I'm suddenly supposed to be your servant. I've got friends who are also in similar positions as us, but they split the chores a little more evenly. They take turns cooking and whatnot. And neither of them can get away with not doing any housework. I think I'm doing more than most and letting you get away with more than what a lot of people can tolerate.
That's where you're wrong. It's no good comparing yourself to others. Most men these days are too self-obsessed with how they look on the outside than what's really going on.
What's that supposed to mean?
They'd rather Photoshop themselves to look all buff instead of actually putting the work to make their bodies look better without all the filters. I'm telling you, you have a long way to go before you're allowed to start taking pride in what you're doing. You're a work in progress. You're a private or a corporal at best. And my dad is just the sergeant major we need to help whip you into shape. Oh yeah, and I just spoke to my dad and he's all for it. He's thrilled with the idea of taking you under his wing. In fact, he says he can come and stay with us starting tomorrow. Isn't that great?
Huh? Tomorrow? No way. This is all way too sudden. I haven't even agreed to it yet.
You don't have to agree. You just need to do as I say.
You can't just say that to me.
What's even the problem, you big baby? What, you're scared of him? This is a great idea. You've got to admit. You and I both know that I'm not the best at coming up with ideas, but this is a good one for sure.
What about your mother? Will she be okay with your dad being here? Won't she get lonely or need help or...
She'll be fine. And like I said, she's a woman of strong character. Just because she's old now doesn't change that.
Ah, I see.
Oh, but if you're really just that worried, you could go over to their place instead. You wouldn't have any complaints nor worries if you did that, right?
Huh?
Plus, it might be easier for him to show you how things work in his own backyard, so to speak. He's never stayed over at our place before, so he might not be able to provide you the best advice when he's in an environment he isn't as familiar with. Actually, yeah, I changed my mind. You go there instead of him coming here and study your darndest while I stay behind here to give you guys some time alone together, man to man. It's the perfect chance for you two to get to know each other better. And I think guys need to be left to hang out on their own sometimes.
No, you can't be making these kinds of decisions. It's all too sudden. I can't just pack up and leave.
Blah, blah, blah. You're really good for nothing but complaining and making crummy food.
You just really don't like my cooking that much, huh?
But don't worry. My dad will whip you into shape so you'll become my little yes man. Besides, if not now, then when? No time like the present.
You could at least give me like a few days to prepare. I have a deadline right around the corner.
Ha! Nice one. But isn't the whole point of working at home so you can make your own hours?
Oh my god. No, I don't want to do this. I don't think I can. You're really not caring about my time.
Well, if you keep putting it off, we'll both be old and nothing will have changed.
I'm still not convinced that anything needs to change at all.
Let's do it. Or you, to be precise. I'm just gonna be chilling back home.
Haha, lucky you.
I'll sort it out, don't worry.
No, hang on, I'm being serious here. I don't want to go. Karen!
How are things going? Are you having some good quality time, man to man? I'd hate it if you guys weren't getting along, but I know I don't have to worry about a thing. I bet you're having the best time ever.
I wouldn't quite put it that way, but yeah, I'm learning a few things. I didn't know your father had invented his own method of folding and washing the clothes. Did you know he has quite a pretty large following? Daniel's way. A lot of people who grew up without competent fathers like to watch him. They say it's therapeutic or something, on top of showing them essential life skills and things that make their lives easier.
Yeah, of course. I thought everyone knew that.
But absolutely none of that rubbed off on you?
Nope. I was always too busy helping Mom with her work, being a girl boss. You know, helping her organize her files, delivering them to people, getting her coffee. those kinds of things. Well, I'm glad you both are having a great time because I am also having the time of my life. It's so great to have the whole place to myself.
Woohoo, good for you.
And I do not miss that attitude of yours. Anyway, I'm just about to get ready actually. I'm going out for a few drinks with the girls. We haven't had a girls' night out in ages. Honestly though, this is the longest I've been left alone since we got married. I'd forgotten how it felt. I have lived at home up until we got married, so I've never really experienced what it's like to be on my own. I thought it might be scary or something, but to be honest, I could get used to this. Now I know why Kathy and Bethany stay single.
I don't think the reason why they're single is because they like living on their own. Didn't those two cheat on their boyfriends or something, and now no one wants to date them?
Small details. Anyway, so what did you guys get up to today? Cooking lessons or something like that? Because God, do you need them?
Yeah, he showed me some of the things he used to make for you when you were younger. Even things as simple as peanut butter and jelly had their own special touch.
Yep, that sounds like him all right. I love those sandwiches. They were even better after freezing them.
Then we did some cleaning. I scrubbed the stairs from the tornado shelter right up to the attic. Then he had me clean out your mother's survival bunker. Your folks are kind of a paranoid bunch, huh?
Yeah, my mom spent some time in the army, so she always likes to prepare ourselves for the worst. And both my parents grew up in Tornado Alley, so they get antsy if we don't have a tornado shelter.
I see. Well, according to your father, my scrubbing technique was all wrong. He kept yelling at me like I was at a military boot camp or something.
My mother must have rubbed off on him.
No kidding, he kept calling me private scrubber and going into fits of laughter. You sure he's right in the head? I think this might be the warning signs of dementia.
It seems like the lessons he's been teaching you have been very useful. I can't wait to see you implement them around the house. Man, I told you this was the best idea I've ever come up with. It sounds like it's been a success. Every little bit helps make our lives back here more comfortable. And hey, you're getting along really well with your in-laws, which is more than I can say for most married couples. So it really is like killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Is that a little attitude I'm picking up from you? After I arranged all of this for your sake?
It was more for your own benefit.
My father didn't have to agree to help you, you know. It was out of the kindness of his heart and his deep affection toward the two of us that he decided he'd take the time to do it. The least you can do is show a little appreciation. Like, would it kill you to try a little harder? Show some gratitude?
It's not that I'm complaining.
You are.
Your father has really been helpful, and the skills he's been teaching me are skills that I can apply to every facet of my life, so I find them extremely valuable.
Uh-huh.
It's just that, today's a holiday. It's kind of a waste to spend it cleaning.
What are you talking about? Every day's a holiday for you.
What? No, I've told you over and over again that I have to work.
But you do nothing but sit there at home all day, every day. You've got to find more ways to keep busy. I can't be the only one slaving away all the time. I'd have thought you'd jump at the chance to learn how to do all this in a more efficient way. So what are you crying about a holiday for? There are plenty of men who are bums who hit the bottle the moment they wake up while living on welfare checks. They're drunk by 8 a.m. while their wives do all the hard work around, but that's unacceptable. You need to be busy. I won't allow you to become one of them. I'm not going to let myself be married to a leech. You live like a college student.
Why are you comparing me to people like that? It's deplorable that they make their wives do everything, but that's not the case here. As soon as you leave for work, I have a list of chores I give myself to do during my breaks as I work, and I always make sure everything is done. To be honest, I thought I've been doing a pretty good job because I don't remember you ever complaining until fairly recently. I'm usually busy all day. I know you don't like eating pre-made meals from the store, so I always cook. but that obviously takes up a lot of my time.
Are you telling me you're on your feet all day, not a moment's rest? Oh wait, I already know that's a lie because I know you're actually just sitting all the time. Man, I guess those sports channels don't just watch themselves, do they? And what about shopping? That doesn't take all day, does it?
No, it takes way longer than you think. Last week when you suddenly said you wanted a full Mexican dinner, I spent all day driving around town looking for just the right avocados. It's like I'm working 2 jobs, with one of them just being taking care of you.
Nah, I bet I could have everything done by noon, 1 p.m. at the latest. Then I'd have the rest of the day to watch my K-dramas or baseball or even the History Channel. Once I know how it's done, it will be easy. I'd probably do a better job than you too.
Okay, so if you're so confident that you can do it better than me, why don't you give it a try then? I won't stop you. Go for it. You've got no idea how much that would help me.
I wouldn't mind. It'd be a walk in the park.
Really? I've been doing it all for years, so seriously, any help at all would be great.
Yeah, I'll do it. It'll be no problem at all. Of course, that doesn't mean you get to sit around doing nothing. You'll need to go out and earn the same kind of money I'm earning now. If you can do that, then you got a deal. I'd trade in a heartbeat. I'd love to live the easy life.
Easy, huh?
I doubt you'll be able to, though. Just because you're a man doesn't mean they'll hire you with no qualifications. You're gonna actually have to work hard, and after years of sitting around being a bum, I don't think you've got a single skill you can use to get ahead of anyone else. As for me, I've worked my way up in my company for the past 7 years. Do you understand? If I had never had a pay raise, we'd still be living in that crummy, run-down old place on 6th Avenue. With the rats and homeless people? You remember them?
You know I can't do that.
Oh, well, that's too bad then.
So why would you even say that in the first place? I really thought for a second that you might start helping out around the place.
I mean, I guess expecting you to get a job like mine is impossible. You can't really do anything that's worth people paying for. So, maybe scanning cereal boxes at a supermarket register maybe? But that'd only be like $7.25 an hour, so you wouldn't be able to make nearly as much as me.
I do make a good amount already through my current work.
Just know your place and do a better job of the housework, okay? That's all you're capable of, so you may as well just make sure you're doing it right. Which my dad should be helping you with. Man, though, you really aren't much use, are you? I bet you're making a nuisance of yourself at my parents' house, no doubt. I feel bad for them for having to put up with you.
You asked your father if he could show me a few things. You said he was happy to do so. So don't make it sound like this was all my fault. I didn't want to come over here and be told what to do all day.
What? But it is your fault, in a way.
How? Literally, I don't understand how this could possibly be my fault in any shape or form.
If you had just had it together at home in the first place, you wouldn't be needing special instructions from my father at all, right? Did he even tell you he had to cancel a book signing event today because of you?
No, he didn't.
Anyway, just make sure you master some of the things he's teaching you so we don't have to go through any of this again. Got it? Anyway, good luck. I'm going out for work. Hey, so just to let you know, it would be super great if you could head over to my dad's house again this week. Don't worry, I've already cleared it with Dad. He says you're such a good listener that you're welcome there anytime. I have a lot of things to do this week, so it'd be super helpful if I could use the house for a few meetings, and it'll be easier if you aren't there at all. Don't worry about cooking. I'll just get takeaway or something if I have to. Or maybe I'll try and crack open a cookbook for the first time in a while.
Really? Okay, got it.
Aw, so obedient. You've really been so good recently. I can really notice all the improvements. The towels are folded so nicely now. I almost don't want to take a shower because that'll mean I'll have to mess them up. And the floors look clean enough to eat my dinner off of, which is saying something. See, I I told you my dad was an expert. You really upped your game. And the food tastes more like how my dad used to cook for me growing up. I wouldn't have known you'd made that apple pie last night if you hadn't told me. Like, I could have sworn Dad had baked it and just asked you to send it over. I really appreciate the extra effort you've been making. And you've been complaining a lot less too, just like how my dad was like growing up.
It's good to know my efforts haven't been going to waste.
And I've been thinking... Why don't we just ask my dad to move in with us?
What? You cannot be serious.
No, I'm pretty serious. I mean, my dad must still have loads to teach you. You never know, he might be able to use you as a personal assistant. At least he was kind of hinting at that possibility. He has a huge online presence and his physical books fly off the shelves. Plus, the guy that had been helping him apparently disappeared, so he's in dire need of more help.
But live with us? Why does it have to come to that? Where did this idea suddenly come from anyway?
Come on! It'll be better for the both of us, don't you think? I'd feel a lot better with him around. And there's no way of knowing how much longer my folks will be healthy. If they live with us, we can always keep an eye on them in case something happens, you know? It's easier to help them when we're right there.
So the both of them will be moving in with us?
Of course. What, you thought only my dad would be moving in with us?
Well, I hadn't even considered the possibility of even your dad moving into our place in the first place. And what about your mom's business?
Well, you don't need to worry about that at all because her house is pretty close to her business, so the commute shouldn't be too horrible.
But it's a 5-minute commute versus now a 30-minute commute.
Some people have to drive 2 hours, but you don't see them complaining.
But they do.
Small details. Besides, she won't be needing to commute for long. She should be stepping down soon. In fact, it might be the last push she needs to finally hand the reins over to her next in line and take up the position as chairman, or chairwoman in her case. I think she'll be happy to step down and let the youngsters take over. It's still her company.
But surely this place is too small for all of us to fit, right? There's barely enough space for the two of us as is.
Well, then start looking for a bigger place. Isn't that an obvious solution?
You make it sound so easy.
But it is that easy. We can easily rent something else nearby. The landlord was telling me the other day that she had plenty of other places in the area.
Oh, but come on, can't we think this over?
What's there to even think about? You know what? I'm the breadwinner of this house, so what I say goes. No complaints or excuses. I won't tolerate any of that nonsense. It's already been decided. They are moving in with us whether you like it or not, so you'd better get used to the idea.
It's too sudden. Okay, forget me for a second. You clearly don't care about what I think, but how about your folks? Have you even discussed it with them? They won't just want to pack up and move in, will they?
Why would I need to discuss it? Everyone knows that parents always want to live with their kids. That's how it's been since the beginning of time.
No. In the US, the primary expectation is that you leave your parents' house at the age of 18 and that you're not supposed to move back in with them.
And that way of thinking is outdated. Everyone's doing it now. God, stop trying to one-up me. I know my parents. They'll be over the moon at my decision, so don't worry about it. I mean, what's not to like? Why do you sound so against it? It's a win-win for everyone, so why are you complaining? Is that your hobby, just complaining all the time? And here I was thinking you'd finally become a good husband.
It's not like I'm entirely against it.
Then what then? They are moving in with us and that's final. It's a done deal and I don't want you yapping about an opinion no one asked for. And if you keep going on about it like a spoiled brat, then that's just it for you and me.
Hey, what the actual hell is that supposed to mean?
Isn't it obvious? Divorce. Has that got your attention now? Will you finally stop talking back to me?
Divorce? Wait, hold on a second.
Uh-huh. That's right. Panic.
How did it escalate to that so quickly? I was just asking if you'd consulted your parents already, and you leap straight into divorce for daring to ask a question? Is it really that much of a crime to ask questions about a super important decision?
Like I said, what I say goes. You don't get to make big important decisions. When you make as much money as I do, then we can talk. And as I said, if you don't like how we do things around here, then we are through. I don't need some nagging husband who always disagrees with what I decide.
A marriage is supposed to be a partnership. We are supposed to discuss things. You honestly think that just because you're the breadwinner, you can just do whatever you want?
Of course. Since you didn't want to step up to be the man of the house, I have the right to decide what goes on under this roof.
God, that is such a backwards way of thinking. I don't even know where to begin. I could have gotten a regular job if you wanted me to, but you wanted someone to stay behind to take care of the house because you didn't want to leave your career.
Whatever. Point is, man or woman, the person who has the right to make the decision is the breadwinner of the house. You're supposed to do exactly what I say because I'm the one who puts food on your table. So, if you really don't like the idea of getting divorced, then I suggest you start doing less arguing and more agreeing with me. I told you, I wanted you to become my little yes man.
I just wanted you to give me a little more time to think about it. Or at least to process it. How am I supposed to react when you spring this up on me out of the blue? I need to mentally prepare myself to figure out how I'm gonna get work done with them in the house. How I'll be taking care of them. What should I expect them to be doing around the house? There's so much to consider.
What's the point? You don't get a say in this decision. My word is final. That's it.
Unbelievable.
Besides, Mom and Pops will be so happy. Just think what a happy family we'll be all under one roof. In fact, I'll call them now to tell them the good news. I'm sure they'll want to move in right away.
Karen, all I'm saying is to wait a little. I don't think that I'm being that unreasonable here.
God, you really just hate the idea of living with my parents, huh? What do you have against them?
It's not that at all. Please, just listen to what I'm saying.
I don't need to. I can't believe you hate my family so much.
I don't.
Well, you know what that means, don't you? I'll be going to City Hall today to get the divorce papers. I've laid out a great idea that helps everyone involved, and you're still not happy? Do you have a better idea?
It's not that at all.
Then what? Spit it out, will ya? I'm sick of all this indecisive weakness. As a husband who's supposed to be supporting his hardworking wife, you should just go along with whatever decision I make and help make it into a reality. You won't survive on your own, you know that. All you know how to do is play games on that little computer of yours. You know what? Fine. You leave me with no other choice.
You don't have to do this. I just wanted to talk things over.
A good-for-nothing bum like you will be living on the streets in no time. Can't work, can't run a house, can't make your wife happy. You're the literal worst person alive. No one else will want you. I'm the only person who tolerates you as it is. If you lose me, you're going to be totally alone. Do you understand? As for me, though, the thought of being single again gives me hope. Maybe I'll find a real man who knows how to take care of his wife and support her in her career.
Are you just gonna torment me all day after I did everything you suggested and went to learn from your father? You complimented me. You were happy with my progress. But you're just gonna throw away all of my hard work just because I dared to ask a question? I improved so much. You said so yourself.
I'm not tormenting you, you idiot. Stop being so dramatic. I'm just pointing out the truth. It's not my fault if you can't do anything without someone else helping and showing you a better way of doing it. Men like you are a dime a dozen. You really lucked out by meeting someone like me. But unfortunately, that luck of yours is about to run out. I don't know what I was thinking marrying someone like you in the first place, to be honest. Looking back, maybe it was charity work.
What do you even mean by that?
I mean what I said. I saw someone as pitiful and useless as you and realized that if no one else showed you mercy, you'd live the rest of your sad, miserable life all alone in agony. But I shouldn't have bothered. I should have kept looking until I met a man who actually knows how to please his wife.
So, you really want a divorce? Is that what you're trying to say to me right now? I get the feeling you'd be better off if I was out of the picture. That's how you feel, right?
Well, you've kind of forced my hand.
I haven't forced anything.
I didn't necessarily mind keeping a useless man like you around, but you're leaving me with no choice. You're against having my folks move in with us. In other words, you're an obstacle. Is there another path for us to take that I'm not seeing? If you just give in and go along with what I'm saying, then maybe we don't have to divorce. But you seem stubborn. And there are thousands of men who would leap at the chance to be my next husband. I'm still young. So why should I fight to continue suffering with an inferior man when I can upgrade to someone better at any time? It doesn't make any sense. Maybe you should go back to your parents' place. Give yourself time to really look at the big picture.
You've thought it all through, haven't you? I see. I'll do just that then.
So how long are you gonna hide out at your parents' house? Don't you think about anyone but yourself? You've had enough time to mope, haven't you? And you have a sexy wife and her parents waiting for you back home. So why aren't you back? Don't make me start threatening to divorce you again. That's a last resort solution that I don't want to use. But if you want to leave me with no other option, I might have to.
I don't know. To be honest, I might just stay here.
Excuse me?
I've been thinking about it for a while now and been spending time with my parents, and I realized that maybe divorce isn't the end of the world I pictured it being. It might in fact be the best option. It was your idea after all, and you only have great ideas, so...
I mean, I told you back then that I generally don't have good ideas, but... Hang on, what?
Divorce. You wanted it. Now I'm saying it might be the best choice for the both of us. So I agree with you and your brilliant idea. Let's get a divorce as soon as possible.
No, just wait a minute.
What's the problem? Oh, no, it's okay. I agree with you. You're always right. Divorce is totally okay with me. I won't put up a fight and beg you to reconsider. Nope. No resistance. I'm your little yes man, just like how you wanted me to be from the start. You wanted me to stop complaining, right? So here I am. I've stopped complaining and I'm finally going along with what you said.
What are you even saying?
That's why you had me go home to my parents, right? As a trial separation. You wanted me to get a feel for what it's like. Well, I don't need convincing or any coercement at all. I'm all for it.
What?
You've already been having your next potential husband over at our place, right? That's why you wanted to get me out of the picture. I get it. I totally understand. Everything makes sense now.
What? Hey, what are you even talking about? That's total garbage.
No, I'm not letting you brush me off. Did you think I wouldn't notice? I am not that stupid. What do you take me for? I've known about your affair for ages now. And to be honest, I didn't really care until you started trying to kick me out of my own home. Do you hear that? I didn't want to start any problems, but you forced my hand.
Affair? What the hell are you talking about? You'd better change your attitude right this minute. A yes man, my butt. This isn't what I wanted. How dare you talk to me like that? I'm not involved in any affairs whatsoever.
So, you're just gonna play dumb now? I'd choose my words very carefully if I were you. Each wrong word will only dig you deeper and deeper into your hole. You've already introduced him to your father, right?
Huh?
Oh, don't lie, Karen. It'll only make things worse for you.
No! What? I don't understand.
You just used your father to teach me as an excuse to get me out of the house. All the while, you've been living it up with your little boy toy under our roof. You are absolutely shameless. Well, was it worth it? Did you have fun? It must have been great while it lasted. Like a second honeymoon? Did you even plan to get married to him, actually?
How did you find out? I was hiding it so well.
Clearly not well enough. Because it was simple. When I suspected something was up, rather than sit idle like some stupid man, I decided to actually take control over my life and do something about it. I make a decent amount of money at my current job, so I called a private investigator and had cameras installed.
Cameras? Are you crazy? I'm going to end you. You're a piece of literal garbage. How dare you do something like that? That's illegal, you know. You can't just film people without them knowing. I'll sue you. I'll call the police.
Illegal? Don't make me laugh. What is wrong with putting some cameras up in my own house? People do it all the time. It's easier to catch burglars and philanderests if you have video evidence, right?
No, it's an invasion of privacy. We might be living together, but I should be entitled to my own spaces without fear of being recorded without my permission. Delete those videos. I'm being so serious right now, so quit fooling around, or so help me God, I will make you regret it.
Fooling around? Me? Now that's some self-projection if I ever saw it. As for your plan, living together with your parents, I'm all for that 100%. And divorce? 100% all for that too. I have no complaints about these arrangements whatsoever. And if you're wondering where I'm gonna live from now on, don't worry. So long as I pitch in with the rent, my parents have no issues letting me stay with them indefinitely. It is so nice to be spending so much time with my folks again, you know? We've been able to really catch up.
You're crazy!
Oh, yeah, and here's a little secret. You had no way of knowing this, but actually, your father and I are very close. Your mother says we're like two peas in a pod.
What? How? I barely see you guys interact.
Did you think every husband lives in fear of his in-laws? Well, not these days. That's just another one of your old-fashioned stereotypes that you seem so eager to cling on to. Which is funny for someone who's supposed to be so progressive. Anyway, your dad is like an older brother to me. I get along pretty well with your mom too. She's a nice lady.
What the hell are you even talking about?
When I found out you were cheating on me, you know who was the first person I went to? Well, it was your father. I went to him for advice.
You did?
Yeah, we talked about hiring a PI or a lawyer. He was honestly a huge help. Also, I had no idea that he'd also gone through a divorce before. I thought your mom was the first woman he ever married.
No, he was married to another woman, but they divorced.
And they didn't have any kids either, so you were born to the woman he's currently married to, right?
Yes, that's right.
And remind me, why did he divorce the first woman he was with? That's right, stay silent. It was because she cheated on him and he found out. That's why your dad could give such good advice to me. He'd been through it all before. So you really have some nerve to be doing something like that as his daughter. Anyway, I knew that you were planning to introduce your new boyfriend to them soon. You introduced me to them pretty soon too when we first started dating, and I knew that you were shameless enough to not even care that you were outing yourself as a cheater to your parents. Did you honestly expect them not to care?
So, you knew all along? Unbelievable!
No, you're the one who's unbelievable here. But thanks for giving me a good laugh, because when you suggested I go to my parents' house, I couldn't stop laughing. It was so obvious what you were up to. I imagined you dancing around the house, totally oblivious to the fact that I'd already seen right through you. You probably thought you were so clever, thinking you could deceive me. I already knew you looked down on me, but you really thought I was that stupid, didn't you? Come on, you should have at least given me some credit. Your father almost had a stroke. He was laughing so hard too. I had to hand him tissue after tissue. He was crying so much too, but I don't know if that's because of how ridiculous you were being or how disappointed he was at you. Probably both, to be honest.
You evil little man. This is a conspiracy. You all ganged up on me. What next? Are you gonna tell me my mom wasn't on it too? How far does this all go? What's next? Uncle Bob's gonna jump out from behind a car and smash my kneecaps?
Ooh, that's a good idea. Maybe I should mention it to him. Well, one thing is for sure, but both your parents are totally on my side. Your mom is totally ashamed she ever gave birth to you, and your dad is wondering where he went wrong with raising you. Considering you knew how his first wife wronged him, he was so disappointed he couldn't teach you to know better than that.
That's messed up. They're my parents, goddammit.
So, they're their own individual people too. And their situation is very similar to ours. The difference is that they actually mutually respect each other. And your dad is a man of a good character and a loving husband too. Why would he ever want to continue to support your disgraceful behavior, especially since he was once cheated on himself? What, you just thought they'd stand by you unconditionally? What for? You've been showing your true colors as a real scumbag. Not only that, but your parents get along extremely well with me, yet you treat me like a slave.
Who cares? They're my parents, not yours. They should never be taking your side.
No, I don't think you'll find all that many mothers and fathers who are willing to sit by idly while their daughter torments her husband. Did you honestly think the two of them would condone your affair? Really?
Well,
that's what I thought.
shut up. This is all your fault anyway.
Excuse me?
If you were more appealing, then we wouldn't even be having this conversation in the first place. What's that old saying? Why would you pay for milk when you have the cow at home? If you'd just been a good little yes man for me and done everything I say, and if you looked hot, I wouldn't have had to crave for more.
So, it's not even like you've been dating one singular guy? You've been paying for men?
No, like I said, I meant I'm supposed to have a cow at home. And you aren't the cow that you used to be. You changed. You failed as a husband. There, I said it. So what do you have to say about that now? I didn't pay for any men or nothing. You're just not desirable anymore, so I got bored. That's all.
You've been saying that, or words to that effect, for a very long time now, and honestly, I've gotten pretty immune to them. Those words mean nothing to me. I mean, they're coming from you of all people. If I failed as a husband, how about you? Won any Best Wife Ever awards recently?
Are you making fun of me?
The trophy cabinet is empty as far as I can see, and as I am the main judge and your parents are willing to back me up, I can safely say that you're the one who's failed as a wife.
Wait just a damn minute. I'm the best wife a man could ever have. I'm absolutely winning at everything. I'm smart. I have a great job. I'm hardworking and I'm so beautiful that all the guys drool over me. So I deserve a husband that's worthy of standing by my side as someone who's accomplished so much. I shouldn't have to put up with a sniveling bum who won't do what I say. After all, I'm pretty much perfect.
Perfect? That is a good one. You almost got me there. I mean, perfect? Even though you've been disowned by your husband and your own family?
Disowned? What are you even talking about? Forget you, but my parents would never disown me no matter how disappointed they are in me.
No, they're seriously disowning you, don't worry. Oh, and it's not just your family either. Your new boy toy doesn't want to have anything to do with you anymore either. I went and had a word with him, so that's how I know.
You did what?
I went and saw him and introduced myself as your husband.
No one gave you permission to do that!
Why not? You're not the boss of my life.
What have you done? Oh my god, this is bad.
Oh, what's wrong? Should I not have done that?
No, you shouldn't have.
Whoops, so sorry if I've caused a bit of a mess. Hee hee. How careless of me. Almost as careless as you.
You know what? Fine. We're getting divorced, so I don't care. Go ahead and do your worst. Get it out of your system before you're gone from my life forever. because the sooner we're done, the better.
You're right, this all has nothing to do with me anymore. We're getting divorced, so you'll be free to do whatever you want, but
why? What are you doing trying to leave me hanging here? You're not gonna make me panic that easily.
Well, I won't be letting you get away with cheating on me, so...
What's that even supposed to mean? What are you planning? Haven't you done enough already? Let's just get a divorce already and put this all behind us. No need to make it more complicated, right?
Me? Done enough? Oh no, I am just getting started. You had an affair with a man in your office, a co-worker of yours, so I've taken the liberty of making an anonymous phone call to your boss. Since it's an affair going on under her roof, I figured she has the right to know what is going on.
You told my boss? What's wrong with you? How could you be so vindictive? That's going way too far. You didn't need to do it. She'll fire me, do you understand? We never did see eye to eye. This is the perfect opportunity she needs to get rid of me.
Ooh, it is her lucky day.
I'm finished, and it's all because of you.
I really couldn't give a damn anymore. If she fires you, then consider it as one small part of the punishment you have for betraying your husband who supported you over the years.
How could you do such a thing?
Don't worry, you're not completely screwed just yet.
What do you mean? Didn't you just straight up drop my name?
Nope, I didn't say who it was. Just that there was a married employee having an affair behind her husband's back with one of the guys at the office. And I asked about company policy about workplace relationships and stuff like that.
You're unbelievable.
Well, aren't you glad she doesn't know it's you yet? But I am sure you're gonna be on edge at your workplace from now on. I mean, it's only a matter of time before she sniffs you out, no? You'll never feel safe at work again.
That's so horrible of you to do. I don't deserve this.
Oh yeah, and get this. She said that the company doesn't look too fondly upon workplace relationships. She wouldn't elaborate any more than to say that there would be a full investigation and all guilty parties would be punished. If I had to take my guess, maybe you'll be transferred, or maybe get a pay cut, and those are the best case scenarios. I wonder what you'll get. Which would you prefer, actually? Like, a transfer might be nice when you really think about it. A fresh start. A rotten cheater such as yourself would probably greatly enjoy it. Of course, if the affair was carried out on company time, you can kiss those prospects goodbye because you'll straight up get fired for sabotage or something. It happens all the time.
Hey, cut the crap already and be serious. What's gotten into you? Until the past year or so, you were such an obedient little husband who knew his place. So who taught you to be such a scheming, evil man? I'm sure your parents didn't raise you to become this way.
And I'm positive your parents didn't raise you to become a deceitful cheater, and yet here we are. It's just worn me down. You've worn me down. For every squeak I make, you lecture me on what it is to be a good husband. I found it less stressful in the long run just to shut up. It's more than it's worth to say anything to such a perfect narcissist. I just blocked it out most of the time. I just shouted inside my own head whenever you launched into one of your tirades since, you were a cheating rat, so I didn't really care about what you had to say. And it still doesn't matter. I really don't care. It's like I have a spam filter in my head that just automatically sends everything you say into the junk box. I know that the spam is there, but I don't have to open it if I don't want to.
I hate you. You're literally the worst.
And do you want to know what your boyfriend said when I talked to him?
What? That he didn't want to live without me?
Are you serious? Your narcissism strikes yet again. Don't you remember what I said about him not wanting anything to do with you anymore? So you really think he'd say that? He told me it was okay, and that he didn't mind breaking up with you.
What?
Yeah, and get this, he actually said he was gonna do so anyway. And that he actually has a fiancée and was never serious about you anyway. He begged me not to tell his fiancée either, and even offered to pay for my silence. I love free money, so I accepted his offer. But you really have burned down every bridge.
So, he was engaged? What the hell? I never knew that. I'm literally shocked.
I bet. He said he only ever thought of you as someone to buy him things. He's a man that likes to be taken care of, apparently, but he said that you aren't even his type. I admit, I found it hard to talk to him after hearing that, but I suppose slimy people attract one another, huh? He seems like a really shallow man. He only ever planned to date you until you bought him all the things that he wanted.
You men are all the same. You're all scum of the earth.
Hey, don't go comparing him to me.
Why not? You're the same as him.
No, if anything, I think you have more in common with him than he does with me.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, I don't really know how his fiancée is like, but as for you and him, I thought that you two made the perfect couple. You're both equally as narcissistic. But I guess two narcissists don't make a couple, though. It wouldn't work out, would it? And to be honest, I can't resist kicking that hornet's nest, so I'll probably tell his fiancée about you two after all. Just so she knows what a piece of crap she's signing up to marry, since I have a feeling that she's been completely oblivious to it all this time. And it's only fair that she knows the truth before it's too late.
How dare you?
What? Sure, I did take the money because I love free money, but I didn't sign a contract with him or anything, so I can't legally get in trouble if I break my promise. Our agreement wasn't written down on paper anywhere, so I am free to do as I like. And what I would like to do is expose the two of you for the heinous things that you've been up to. Man, it's like I'm doing charity work.
You suck! I hope you rot in hell!
Like I said, all your words go straight to my mental spam box. And all I'm hearing are words of praise like, "Oh my god, Kevin, you're so smart and awesome. You planned and executed this so well." It's like a pat on the back for a job well done. So, are you starting to see how much damage you've caused now? Are you finally starting to regret what you've done?
You didn't need to go so far as to ruin everyone's lives. Aren't you aware of the damage you're causing?
I don't want to hear that from you.
And you're hearing words of praise from me even though I'm saying the exact opposite? Isn't that exactly what a narcissist does? See, you are the same. You're a piece of garbage and I hope you rot.
I'm looking forward to seeing how you cope with all the alimony payments, since I do intend to seek alimony from you. And since I make way less than you and you're the one with a super good job, the courts will definitely be taking my side. Oh, but you won't be having that super good job for long, huh? And you won't have any family or a house to live in. No, it's starting to sound like you're gonna become a homeless bum. That is so sad.
What do you mean, no family?
Hello? Are you keeping up? Do I need to reiterate it again?
Reiterate what?
Your parents and your family are all disowning you. I thought I made that clear enough. Your parents are both on my side. They can't stand what you've done, and they want nothing to do with you anymore. As far as they're concerned, you're dead to them. They never had a daughter. But that's okay, because now they have a son who'd never stoop so low as to cheat on his spouse.
You're lying. They wouldn't really disown me. I'm their only daughter.
Not anymore. If you don't believe me, try calling them, landline or on your cell phone. I'm telling you that they've blocked you. As far as they know, you don't exist anymore.
Oh God. I just called them both, but they're not responding. I can't get through.
I told you they've blocked your number. So, how are you going to survive on your own now? You must at least be a little worried now, right? I've only ever seen you heat a TV dinner in the microwave before, so I already know you're going to suffer without me cooking you food. Although, maybe that would actually be preferable, since you hated my cooking so much. Well, who cares really? It's none of my concern anymore. So, good luck. Enjoy your new single life. Bye.
Wait, hang on a second. Please, let's talk about it. We don't need to get a divorce. I changed my mind. I was so stupid. I should have never brought it up. Right? I told you before, I don't often have good ideas. So that was yet another one of my terrible and awful ideas. There's nothing we can't sit down and talk through. So come on, Kevin. You know where I am. Let's discuss it, just the two of us. As a couple, we're supposed to discuss these things, right? Hello? You're still there, aren't you? Kevin? Please, could you answer me?
So I didn't immediately call her workplace to expose her, mostly because I wanted her to suffer some emotional torment. After all, I told her I'd given her workplace an anonymous tip, so she'll be on edge. She did say she didn't have a good relationship with her boss. Any wrong move, every distrustful glance, and snide whispers will make her heart jump, wondering if they'd figured out it was her who was the cheater, when the truth is that none of them have even been informed yet. And just as she's finally let her guard down, I'll call them up. At any rate, I took the opportunity to follow in her parents' footsteps and block her number, and I went over to their place to celebrate. It turned out Karen's mom had finally decided to retire, and that they'd be moving elsewhere. Part of that is just because their current house is too big for just the two of them, but the other reason is that they didn't want their no-good cheater of a daughter crawling back to their place to bother them. Also, Karen's mom needed a new heir to her company, and since she no longer had anyone to call her daughter, she actually wound up passing down the role to me. She was impressed by all the freelance work I've done over the years and all the glowing reviews from my pleased clients, and she thought I was the perfect person to take over for her. Additionally, the only reason I took up freelance work in the first place is so that I could support Karen by taking care of the house. Before I met her, I'd been working a proper company job. To be honest, I didn't have any confidence in myself. I thought Karen's mom thought too highly of me, but all my new employees seemed to like me, so maybe her judgment wasn't that wrong after all. After a while, I did exactly as I said I would. I told Karen's company the full story, anonymously of course. I also did the same with the fiancé of the man she'd been cheating with. And what do you know? Karen was told to clean out her desk that very same day. The company had searched all the security camera footage and found ample evidence of her wasting company time in the cleaning closet, the copy room, and the elevators. The amount of money I'm getting in alimony payments was less than I was expecting, but that wasn't such a big deal now that I had a good job. And it felt so good to know that Karen was suffering now. It's become increasingly tougher for her without a job nor somewhere to live. All the paperwork for our divorce took a bit longer than I anticipated, but our divorce was finally finalized. I thanked my parents for giving me a place to stay while I sorted out my life and moved into a brand new condo. I found a new job and I'm enjoying my life now, free of filthy cheaters. Maybe I'll find a new partner, or maybe I won't. Either way, I'm going to prioritize myself and my own happiness from now on. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to see more content just like this. See you next time.